Hey, gang. I've been seeing this an awful lot, and it's really been bothering me. So I feel like I have to talk about this. And of course, today we're talking about ethics in social media advertising. Social media, the internet, in a lot of ways, the internet is very much becoming, it's getting its own rules, and social media is kind of going its same way. The difference between social media and the internet, in my eyes at least, would be that we kind of get to make the rules. Of course, the platforms will have their own rules, but we as a people kind of have our rules on how things should be conducted and what feels right and what feels wrong. And you see that and feel that. The problem is that with any society, there's often a lot of people who just don't understand these rules. And as someone who is more and more hearing them and feeling them and seeing them out, I thought I would go over a couple of them and make that aware to those of you who aren't aware. Um, let's go into it, because here's the thing. Most of us now, we have those side hustles. I'm a comic creator, but there's people who are doing, I have my own Etsy store, or I'm doing Sensi, or whatever the hell else. You know what I mean? Like, everybody kind of has this internet side hustle, which is okay. But if you want to continue to make fans and do things well, there's certainly some ethics, some things that you should consider moving forward. Um, First off, stay out of my DMs. Like, pretty much. Now, here's the thing. So, in comics especially, Kickstarters is a huge thing. So I can't tell you how many creators I've seen who I look up to. These people have been around for a long time, all that kind of stuff, who suddenly recently would just send me a random message out of nowhere, we've never spoken before, and just say, "Hey, check out my Kickstarter, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "No, like, you didn't try to create any kind of relationship with me. You haven't tried to talk to me at all." Now, if you were to come into my DMs, into my private messaging, and say, "Hey, Chuck, nice to meet you," blah blah blah, and like introduce yourself and stuff, that's totally different. That's what it's there for. Create a relationship and then do that. And you might go, "Well, that's annoying. That's hard." Yeah, yeah. Welcome to the game. But the thing about private messaging is that it's private. It's mine. I don't have to listen to you at all. In fact, I find most of those messages, not only are they ignored, they're actually considered a strike against you. So, like, and you want to call me out on this, that's fine. But I'm telling you, from the people I've spoken to and what I've seen around, if you do this, this is considered a strike. And someone will immediately, at the very least, a lot of people out there, they've seen it so much, they'll just delete your ass. If you want access to the private messaging, just get to know a person. You know what I mean? And then at any point you can pop in and be like, "Hey, Chuck, what's going on, man? I got this thing happening." All right, cool. We can talk about that. You know what I mean? Because you've done your due diligence. Um uh on actual, like, say, Facebook, Twitter, all that kind of stuff. One thing I've noticed, now moving away from the private messaging, um tagging people in posts. Here's the thing. If someone has specifically said, "I love what you do, tag me in everything you do," cool. Tag them. No problem. If someone is connected to the project, as I often am as an editor, tag me. That's fine. My social media is there to help that creator and that book. That's part of what I do. I have no issue with that. Other people might feel differently. Talk to your team and see how they feel. But for me personally, I feel like if you're connected to the team, it's okay to tag you. Um, but otherwise, if you're, especially, I see this a lot where people will tag me because I have fans. No, no, I created that fan base for me. I didn't create that fan base for you. I didn't do all that hard work so you could just click on my name and go, "Hey, cool. Now Chuck's fans get to see this." No, every time I see that, I hide it. I get rid of it. It's not fair. You have to ask. It's not all right. And there's some people out there that I've actually been like, "You know what? I like you. You're cool, and I understand what you're doing. I'm okay with it." But it's a very fucking short list. That list is so short. So yeah, man, stay away from that crap. It's just it's not cool. Find the people that are okay with it and tag them. Okay? But the rest of us, leave us alone, man, because I can't tell you how often I'm checking my notifications and I wake up in the morning and I have like 50 to 100 notifications, and most of them are because I was tagged in somebody else's post about their project. I don't I don't care, man. I shouldn't need to know every time somebody talks about your thing. What does that have to do with me? It's annoying. Um, so there's that. Groups. Look, certain groups have rules. We have to follow them. We don't have to like them. Hell, I've had groups that I've been a part of that I administrated. I didn't like the rules, and I was like, man, I gotta bounce because I find this too stifling for people, blah blah blah. And it is what it is. It's nothing against that group though. They have every right to conduct themselves the way they want to. It's up to us to see those rules and go, cool, that's how they want it, fine. Any group that wants it done this way, maybe that's not for me, so I'll leave. Or I'll follow the rules, but it means that I do much less in that group. It happens, whatever. Conduct yourself appropriately to that group, which could just be as easy as leaving it. No big deal. There's lots of groups out there, guys. Another thing that's really bothered me an awful lot. Holy crap, people. Unsolicited advertisements in people's in people's statuses. We've already talked about putting stuff on other people's walls. If they have not asked for it, they can share it themselves. Don't just put stuff on people's walls. That's just a dick move. I think we all know that, but if you don't, dick move, guys. But as far as say someone has this post and things are, going well and whatnot, and then you say, oh, cool, that's great. By the way, I've got this thing going on. Nah, dude, not all right. It needs to come up naturally. You know what I mean? In conversation. It just it's socially awkward, and honestly, will you get some people from it? Yeah. But will you get more detractors than people who click on it? Probably. And really, this is about trying to create a brand and trying to get you recognized. And so the thing, like, all too often, someone will come to me and say that cool, talk about how, well, Nike doesn't give a crap where they put. That's true, but it's also not. Nike's not in my DMs. Nike's not randomly posting stuff on my wall. So in social media, it's kind of a different place because these places, like, how often are we like, hey, this is my wall, I can post whatever I want. Yep, you're absolutely right. And so it's their wall. They have ownership of that. That's their feed. They can do whatever they want in that feed. So you have to respect that. And by respecting other people's feeds, I really feel like you're going to get more traction. It's going to be a little bit harder because you're not just inundating yourself in front of everybody's faces, but the traction that you get is going to be organic. It's going to be real. It's going to matter. And I think that's really important. These groups that I was talking about earlier, that's a great place to drop your Facebook or your Kickstarter or your Etsy store, your Amazon links, whatever the hell you have. Throw it there and put up your advertisement however you want. That's fine. Your own wall, absolutely. There's Twitter, Instagram, all that kind of. There's perfect places for that. But other people's places are not it unless you have some level of permission. And that's really important. So I think we need to understand this stuff more and more. And I really felt like if I ever made this video, I was making it for the noobs. But more and more, I'm seeing people way higher than me, people who have done this a lot longer, who are making these mistakes. And so I think that these are rules that we need to kind of look into. We need to seriously consider the other people involved, because it is annoying as hell. So anyways, guys, I really hope this helped out. I think this is important. I think Hell, I'm at the point where I've been annoyed enough that I had to make this video. I've now spent 10 minutes talking to you about the ethics of advertising because it bugs the crap out of me. So even if some of these rules are ridiculous, even if I'm talking out my ass, I don't care. I started a conversation. And I think it's important for this conversation to be started so that we can continue to move forward and make this a little bit better of a place for all of us to show off our stuff, do our side hustle, do well, and still live together. Because really, that's kind of what we're doing, right? Anyways, thank you so much. My name's Chuck. I give a fuck. Take care of yourselves. If you like this, like, subscribe, check out the channel. I mostly talk about comics, but I'm always here to talk about any kind of creation. Take care of yourselves, folks.